Hello, YouTube. Just getting going here. I forgot to set up my file beforehand, so I'm doing that real quick, and then I'll start broadcasting my screen. Also testing the audio levels. It seems good though. Hello, Estrella Zero. You're the first one here I see. What's up? I'm doing good. Doing pretty good. I ate way too big a lunch today, so I'm very sleepy. But I need to stream, so I'm streaming. I'm here. I'm gonna do it. I've got caffeine, so it'll be alright. Let's see here. I just upgraded to Blender 4.0, which just came out, and I was watching the features video, and they have some really cool ones that I really liked, so I decided to go for it. And I'm having a little trouble managing my files now, but it's nothing too bad. There we go. So which dude am I gonna model tonight? I think I'm gonna start modeling this tall dude. So yeah, let me get rid of these two from the base file, and I'll create a new file just for this guy. Oh, it's midnight where you're at, Estrella? That's a bummer. Yeah, you're a good 5 hours ahead of me then. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, yeah. Wow, that's nuts. Hopefully you can stay for a little bit. If not, that's cool. Yeah, you can always tune in tomorrow. Yeah, I'm trying to do the streams around 7:30, so yeah, that's the time that YouTube says to do for most traction. So that's the time I'm trying to do them. My time, it's only 7:30 right now. I'm in California, eh? Okay, levels seem good, so I can tune that down a little. There we go. Create a new folder for this new project. Oh, I don't know what these guys are called. I actually forgot. I have a list. Oh, I don't have a list. Megaman X intro stage enemy names. Oh, they're the ones with the weird name, the Ball DeVoe. You know, the little balls with long legs that get dropped by the bee mini boss? That's what I'm going to be modeling tonight. I'm a little worried about this one because the last time I built it in 3D for the block in, they look kind of weird. They don't really... I feel like they don't look that cool in 3D. But I was also just making a block in, so I didn't do a great job with it. So hopefully these ones will look cooler. Alrighty, I'm gonna switch over to my display now. Voila, Blender 4.0. Very nice. Estrella says, I think you forgot to change the OBS scene. I just had it there because I was creating a file to work on this dude. That's all. Sorry, it took me a minute. I wasn't set up yet. Got it going now though. So this was the block-in that I did for the concept art that I made. And yeah, I feel like it didn't come out that great. It's kind of eh. I mean, he does look like the dude, generally. Let's get a picture down here real quick. So this is the guy. And so, yeah, it does kind of look like him, for sure. But I feel like the proportions are kind of off. See, his face is wider. It's thinner in the one that I made. And, yeah, so that's some of the stuff. I think the eye is bigger, too. Yeah, so now I'm going to be remaking it. And making like the proportions work and all that good stuff, so I'll keep that reference close at hand for sure. It'll be very helpful. I think I have some drawings of him or paintings too. I have one. Yeah, it's this thing. That one's gonna be. In fact, I might even follow that more than the sprite, because it has a lot more information as far as like the shapes and detail. The sprite's a little bit up for interpretation, so I'll probably follow that artwork. I like the shapes in that artwork. I feel like it gives them a little more character, having the variation, like the square sort of mouth and stuff. Not that that's actually a mouth, but you know what I mean. Yeah, it's kind of a weird dude. I remember those guys in the game were like the weirdest enemy in the first level. I always thought. So let's switch over to render preview. I can still see some textures while I'm working on this. Yeah, just a long little fella, says Estrella Zero. That's pretty much the case. Let's see, maybe I'll put something interesting up in the corner on OBS while I'm working. I have this, oh, I didn't. Yeah, let me grab that real quick. Dropbox. I'll put my little run cycle in the corner while I'm working, so people have something fun to look at. There he is. Can I crop that? Get rid of those black guides on the side. I don't think so. Well, I could do this. Now he's not blocking too much. I'll fix that other corner later at some point. Anyway, time to get going on this guy. Estrella Zero says, I wonder what uses he had since he's a generic robot. He must have had a purpose once. Yeah, I was wondering that about the Gunvolt guys. Because that last big dude that I modeled, the one who's in the corner now, or oh, he's not in the corner now. What happened? Why does that keep disappearing? Okay, interesting. Oh, he's there now. Yeah, I was wondering that about the Gunvolts too, because it seems like there's a lot of them and they're all on the highway, but they actually shoot missiles, so they must actually be like for fighting. A lot of the other Mavericks I feel like are just sort of utility robots of some sort, at least the basic enemies that go bad. Oh, it keeps disappearing. What's with OBS, man? Why is that happening? That's super weird. Don't understand. Oh, I know why. I didn't put it to loop. Silly me. Loop. There we go. Now it'll stay there. Yeah, I was wondering that about the Gunvolts, yeah, because they must be like actual fighting warbots or something, right? Yeah, I don't know what this guy's purpose would have been. He actually comes out of the bees, and the bees definitely seem like there's some sort of military equipment. So, I mean, I think they must They must be meant for fighting, come to think of it, yeah. Oh, if you're on OBS, hold shift and resize the image. I think that's how you cut things. Oh, let me try. That's interesting. I didn't know that. No, that's just scaling it. I can stretch it and stuff. I'm sure there is a way. Is it C? Sometimes it's just C for stuff like that. No, it's not C. I'm sure there's a way. I just don't know what it is. Alt? Oh, it's Alt. Yeah, I figured it'd be one of those. Now that you mention it. Cool. There we go. Now he's taking up a little less space. Thanks, Estrella. I wouldn't have tried that if you hadn't mentioned it. Spark TFS, what's up, man? He says maybe those long leg robots were for reconnaissance. I bet that's probably what they were, something like that. Yeah, looking at this guy, I'm looking at my reference here. If I can find it. Yeah, I'll probably start with a standard sphere mesh. This guy will be pretty easy to model. There's not too much going on with him, so. But yeah, standard sphere mesh in lieu of the quad sphere. I think this will be better for this one. And I'm gonna make use of that that geometry that it starts with quite a bit for this dude. Let me just get this to scale to start with, because I know that I had the scale correct, generally speaking. Okie dokie. And then I think this one and is that about as wide as he is in the reference? Probably. Yeah, that looks better. I think that's more like the reference. And then from the front view, how much of that is actually pushed out? Not that much. Not as much as I thought it was. Hey, Spark. Thanks, yeah. Detailed and cartoony. Yeah, I think that pretty much sums up the feeling of those characters too. And yeah, the Discord's up. Feel free to join if you wish. There's a link in the description, and I didn't link it in the chat this time. I did last time, but it's in the description. I'll make note of that next time. Make it easier. Yeah, so that's looking about right. Let me do... something like this to start with. And then I'll deal with the center part afterwards. That black strip is maybe 1.5, probably. In fact, I'll just do one side and then I'll symmetrize it. It'll be faster. I gotta work on my speed, getting these things done quicker. Okay, and he does have this round thing going on in this next part, so it's gonna be a little bit of editing compared to the last one. And I think by the looks of it, it's extruded a bit. Oh, wait. Yeah, that'll work. And then, or I guess that one should be extended. Yeah. Makes more sense. Okay, looking good so far. Let's grab this down. Oh, that's right. Go to apply my scale. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and apply rotation as well. Okie dokie. Good so far. The only thing is yeah, I need to put another loop there. I'm gonna edge this one a little bit. Bevel rather. Estrella says, Danny, I'm afraid the Brazilian Revolution is about to begin. Spark TFS has the servers indeed come to Brazil. Oh, are you guys both in Brazil? Oh, that's cool. So you guys are, Brazil's about 5 hours ahead? That's interesting. I hope you're just talking about in the server, not like in real life. That'd be pretty bad. Is there a revolution going on in Brazil right now that I don't know about? It's okay if it's just the server. Estrella says, I knew Spark was also Brazilian the moment I saw the Seiya profile picture. Is that more popular, or is that really popular in Brazil, Saint Seiya? It's the kind of anime that got super popular in Brazil. Oh, that's interesting. I remember watching that on Toonami, I think. Wasn't it on Toonami for a while? Or maybe you guys wouldn't know. In America, it was on Toonami. Did you guys have Toonami in Brazil? Might need to add another subdivision. It looks a little chunky. Okay, yeah, that'll work for those. And then let me get that middle section going. I wonder how far does that go? Do I have a back view of this guy? I don't know if it exists. I'll have to invent one. Yeah, it doesn't. What did I do for this one? I brought it all the way around to the bottom. That feels not terrible. Might do something like that. No clue what that is. We had 4 kids with crappy censoring. Oh, you guys didn't have Toonami? That's interesting. Wow, that's a bummer. You should Google early 2000s Toonami. You'll see it was like this robot dude who would introduce all the anime, and he'd like, I don't know, he just made it cooler. It was pretty stupid, but it was fun. Oh, Sanji's cigarette being a lollipop. Yeah, we had some of that 4Kids stuff too, but it always came through Toonami. It was a programming block. Restricted though. Interesting. Yeah, Toonami was cool. That's how like everyone from my generation learned about anime. That's how we all knew what anime was. It was just Toonami curating stuff. And Adult Swim later as well. They do video game reviews on Toonami every once in a while too. I always thought those were cool. Oh yeah, Toonami came back a while ago. It came back like several years ago, actually, like 10 years ago, and it's been back for a while. It went away for a while, but it came back a while back too. I don't watch it anymore though. It's, you know, it's not quite the same. Now everything is available kind of on demand, so it's different. Back in those days, that was the only place where you could see it, so it felt special. Now this middle section, I think, will be wider than on my block-in for sure, right? Yeah, a little bit. So I'll just use 2. And it doesn't go all the way around, it goes to, yeah, about the halfway point. But on the back side, I might make it go lower. Probably right there, yeah, that's good. I might do that as a separate part actually. The eye thing. Oh wait, that's too low, isn't it? Yeah, it starts higher up, so if I do the eye thing as a separate piece. No, instead I'll make it all one piece. Let me see how I'm gonna do that. Well, I still need to do that then, but then maybe after I do this, let's see. I think I do need to pull this down a little bit. Something like that, that's pretty good. Okay. Yeah, I know what I'll do, and then I'll bevel all of this. And that'll probably work. Keyword being probable. See, that won't go wide enough though, and I can't go too far because it'll create that weird. We could probably fix that though after. Gonna get overlap though. I can fix that too. See what the other side look. Oh wait, why is it going in? Oh, see, yeah, don't want that. Is there a way to avoid that? If I put a guide, will it stop it? I actually don't know. No. I suppose I could just pull it out manually. Make sure to select that too. Came out bulkier than I wanted it to. TFS says, there's plenty of years since the last time I watched a TV channel, but I like to see some news about those often. Especially to know about exclusive dubs and stuff like this. Yeah, I never watch TV anymore. It's all streaming stuff for me and YouTube. That's about it. I don't even have cable hooked up to my TV. Ah, I see. Oh, I hit Z instead of X. That's very cool. Yeah, why did it get so bulky though? Because it's because when I beveled it, it was more than I thought because I didn't notice it was going down, yeah. So that's not really gonna work. Because I can't get the bevel to stop for whatever reason. That's a weird problem. I feel like there should be a way to get the bevel to stop. What if I pull this up a little bit higher? Okay, well I have one possible solution. If I make it a separate piece temporarily, will that work? I'm sure there's like a smart way to deal with this, I just don't know what it is. Not that smart. So now that it's one whole thing, I think if I bevel it, it won't go past the edge there, hopefully. Or do I need to make a face below? I don't even know. No, it's still, what the hell? It still goes past. Am I crazy? Why is it doing that? I know there's a way to make it stop. Well, let's just see what I can do here then. Okay, I'll do it this way then. I'll have to shape it more manually. A little bit. This part gets weird though. Maybe I should leave that out of it. I don't think I can completely. So let's grab this. Okay, this will probably work. Oops. What happened to... It's slightly different, that's weird. I wonder why. Okay, I'll mirror it. Odd. Okay. That's a problem. Let's do. Actually, I should do it on this side. Doing some weird stuff. Deal with that in a minute. Let's do this first. See this too. Okay. Gotta even that out. Whoa, what happened there? What? And these little bits too are a little bit, oops, out of whack. So let's pull those in. I feel like it needs another cut actually. So maybe let's get rid of this. Oh wait, did that mess something up? Oh, there's two here, that's right. Okay. Yeah, maybe right across here. And then do that. Oops. I think that's getting somewhere. Probably could have moved it in a little more, but I'm gonna let it be as is for now. And we'll see what kind of bevel we got now. Ah, what's that? Uh-oh. Oh no. What is this? Why would it buckle like that? That doesn't make any sense. Oh boy. Well, that's no good. Is there something that I can do about that? I could add smoothing, but at this point it's sort of... Yeah, that's weird. Okay, can I... Let's try a different strategy. Oh my gosh, why does it do that? Why does it do that? I hate that. There we go. Yep, that's not good. That might work. I've definitely got some weirdness to fix though over here. It's not too bad. I could start just by doing this, I'm pretty sure. Okay, it's getting better. Now for this part, I think what I'll have to do is just create a whole different guide around it. Either that, or can I use this inner edge that I made? Can I just, like, what happens if I, oops, individual. Oh, it's connected to this one. That doesn't make sense, does it? Here. Yeah, that is definitely connected to that one. Okay, so I probably should have not done that, but that's okay. That's what the knife tool's for. I'll fix that in a little bit. This edge looks okay. I'll make that more interesting later. Okay. Let me tackle this while I'm tackling this stuff. Spark TFS and Astral Zero says they're here, but they're doing stuff, so they may miss some of the convo. No problem. You guys can work while you're watching. I don't mind that at all. Okay. Oh no, wait. That part too. I don't know if that will create a good bevel. Let's find out. Yeah, that works. And see, that stops where it's supposed to. I don't know why it wasn't before. Interesting. Blender mystery. Lots of those. Okay, so the only weird thing is these aren't quads, but I can fix that. It doesn't really need to be fixed, but I can fix it if I decide to at some point. So this is now this, like this, and interesting. Okay. That's weird. Man, that is so annoying. Pick shortest path. Always doing weird stuff. Oh, where'd I go? What? How did this happen? I must have extruded that with this. Let me see if I can get rid of that without undoing everything. Okay, crisis averted. I think that should be. It looks kind of odd. Are the normals flipped? Oh, that's right. They changed this. Yeah, it looks like they are. Oh no. They weren't. Wait. Oh no, they're not flipped. Why does it look so freaking stupid? Ah, shoot. Let me see if I can go back to before No, I don't even have enough backs. Dang it, dang it, dang it. Okay, I gotta figure out why this looks stupid then. Oh, and unflip that, because they were not flipped. There we go. So for some reason I'm getting these hard edges here, and I don't know why. I put these back as they should have been. Is it because it's missing an edge there? Probably. Let's try to fix that. You know what? Just combine these. Will that fix it? Probably. Nope. Oh, it just didn't get the shading. Okay. That's fine. Because it was new face. Okay. Easy. Okay, let's move on to this part before I start cleaning stuff up that doesn't look good. Oh, interesting. Oh yeah, and get rid of that obnoxious fuzz. Okay. Normal fuzz. Bring these up. Oh, it's got a little outside part too. So let me bring, actually I'll keep that lower then. Okay. That'll give it room. Yeah, about that much. Maybe a little longer even. Maybe one more. I think so. Let's go ahead and extrude that to a reasonable degree. Maybe a little bit more. Guess we're gonna adjust that too. And then down here, that's interesting. Okay, I see. Darn it. What do you guys think about subathons? Have you ever heard of that before? Like on Twitch, when usually it's like game streamer will do like a 12 to 24 hour stream, like a really long stream to try to get more subs. Have you ever heard of that? I've been thinking about that. Like maybe I could do like a 12-hour modeling stream. I don't think I could do, well, I could do 24. I don't want to. I don't want to do 24, but maybe I could do 12 if that would get me some more subs. I think that could be cool. I can work 12 hours pretty easily. I'm kind of used to it. Especially if I'm like animating. Time just flies. But I think I would do modeling. 3D modeling. Estrella Zero says gotta have some mad energy for that. Yeah, for sure. Spark TFS says the max I ever got was 6 to 7 hours straight, and that's with plenty of pauses. Yeah. Interesting. I wonder if people would even tune in for a 12-hour modeling stream. Like, I wouldn't expect anyone to watch it the whole time, but I mean, like, I wonder if that would be an attractive thing to people. Like, would people want to check that out? Would they subscribe to that? I'm not sure. It seems to work with game streamers. Maybe it could. Also, I wonder about from the technical side, like, OBS might crap out at some point. Worried about that. It's been pretty good lately. It only craps out a little, and it usually self-corrects. So, maybe it would work. 12 hours though. It's a lot of room for error. Spark says, I think there's a public for streaming all kinds of games, but it takes some time for traction to get in. Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah, it's always slow in the beginning, that's what I've heard. But if you're consistent, you can build an audience and all that good stuff. Oops, let's try that. There's an indie game that I've been wanting you to play, that Sea of Stars game. Have you guys heard of that at all? It's supposed to be like classic JRPGs. Yasunori Mitsuda did some of the music for it, which is really cool. He did music for Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross. I kind of want to try that game. It looks fun. Estrella Zero says, ain't heard of it. Not a JRPG fan? Or just missed it somehow. More of a side scroller guy. That's cool. Interesting. I like a pretty wide variety of games, so I always assume that everyone kind of does, but yeah, I guess a lot of people have their niches that they prefer. Oh, I see. Something happened here. This isn't connected. Spark says, I'm looking forward to playing Sea of Stars eventually, but I have a huge backlog to deal with first. Yeah, I know how that is. This month I'm looking forward to pushing through Monster Hunter World and maybe the new RoboCop game too. There's a RoboCop game? I didn't even know that. RoboCop, what the heck? It's random. Yeah, this year was like the year of good games. There was just tons of good games coming out. I still never picked up Armored Core 4. Bunch of stuff. Alan Wake 2, I really want to play that. I never played the first one, but the second one, from just the cinematic kind of feel and stuff, that looks really fun. I really want to play that. It's supposed to be kind of spooky and surreal. Pseudo Regalia, something I want to get a copy of for a good while, Straw Zero says. Cool 3D Metroidvania indie game. Pseudo Regalia. I've never heard of that game. I'll have to look it up. Spark says, yeah, it's called RoboCop Rogue City. I didn't play much of it, but it seems pretty good for what it is. Interesting. Is it like an 3D action game, or is it like a indie kind of thing? I would imagine it's probably 3D action game, right? Like RoboCop, since it's RoboCop. Alright, time for the rusty trusty knife tool. See, I was, by default, it cuts through now. I don't know why it's like that. Okay. Let's symmetrize this. Cool. What's going on here? Okay, that's to be expected. Estrella says, it looks really cool, N64 vibe if you're into that old 3D look. The movement is also really smooth. Cool. That's for the Metroidvania, right? Cool. Yeah, I like N64 games. I like that vibe. Spark says it's an action adventure double A FPS game, you mean, or action adventure? Double A FPS game with choices that seem to affect your dialogue options with your characters. Also, upgrade system for your weapons and stuff. Sounds pretty cool. It's one of those games you move around and slide. Seems to feel great for the Metroidvania. Yeah, I'll definitely take a look at that later too. The Metroidvania. Yeah, I didn't even hear about the RoboCop one. That's odd. I feel like I keep hearing about RoboCop lately though, so maybe that's why. Which is weird, because that's like, there hasn't been much RoboCop anything in a while, has there? They made like a movie at some point, like a reboot, but I never saw that. That was the last thing I ever heard about RoboCop that they were actually making. I saw a clip of it. It looked pretty cool, actually. But I never saw the whole movie, so I have no idea if it's any good. Spark says people mostly prefer the 80s version rather than the 2014 RoboCop reboot. Oh, it was that long ago? 2014? Wow. The original movie is pretty violent, but has some pretty good cool action for the time. Yeah, I remember watching the 80s one when I was a kid. The 2014 one I haven't seen, but like I was saying, I saw some clips. I saw the clip of like the part where he first wakes up as RoboCop and they're kind of explaining to him what happens and he doesn't want to accept it, and he runs into the field and they have to like shut him down and they go get him. I thought that was pretty cool way to set that up. I thought it was interesting. Kind of made me want to watch that movie, but I never got around to it. I barely remember that first RoboCop movie. Yeah, I was a kid when I watched it, so I remember there was some scene at the end with like a huge just hail of gunfire. All those 80s movies, those really heavy anti-crime 80s movies, were because there was so much crime back at that time. People were sort of fed up with it, so there was a lot of that stuff. That might be coming back around now, actually. Who knows? It's kind of similar. It's kind of funny. Gonna have to cheese the hell out of this covering thing because my geometry's not gonna allow for it. But that's okay. It's okay to be cheesy sometimes. Let me see how exactly I want to do that. I might actually hold off on that. I'll handle that in a second, because I still need to make a knife cut all around that stripe that goes back, so I'll probably do that first. Maybe I'll leave out that bottom piece if I feel like I can come up with something else that'll look good, or maybe I'll incorporate it into the glass somehow. Bring it up a little bit higher. I don't want to cut corners if it doesn't look good though. I'd rather just take more time, make it look good. That's weird. Why is it snapping like that? That's crazy. What the? I'll fix that after. I don't know why it's doing that. Oh, you know what? I'm doing too much work. Because for that part, I can just here do it like this. For this part, I can just create a new one of these edge loops, and then I can just connect it with the knife tool, so I don't have to go all the way around. Solve that problem. Much better. Okay, so then, oh, so that's a little recessed. I see. I'll have to fix that. That's gonna be a pain in the butt. In the buttocks. Oh, actually no, because I can use the geometry that's there. So that'll be relatively easy. Just gotta make sure it lines up. Oh, and they don't move at the same time, of course. Of course, of course. Yeah. Up here it kind of evens out, so it's probably alright. Let's see here. Interesting, this one doesn't want to move. Okay. Spark says, oh, I didn't have that context. That's interesting to know. About the RoboCop being an anti-crime movie. Yeah. I always thought that was interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of... That's why so many 80s movies are like that. They're all like sort of... about people crime stopping. All those police movies, those famous ones, those are all from the 80s, like Bad Boys and all that stuff, I think. And I think they figured out, like at least in America, the reason why, or at least maybe not the only reason, of course there's a lot of reasons why there would be crime in places, but one of the things that was contributing to the high levels of violent crime in the 80s was that there was lead in the gasoline, and so people were constantly being exposed to lead fumes basically, and it was basically making them all crazy. It's really interesting. And so they stopped putting lead in the gasoline, and now they put something else in it that's very similar. But it doesn't have that effect. And crime significantly went down when they did that. Some people say, well, there could have been other reasons, but it seems a lot of people seem to think it was very closely linked to the levels of lead in the gasoline or something like that. And that's why it was all in cities where you're all like packed in and there's lots of fumes and of gas and all that kind of stuff. Oh, it's a laggy save. What's going on here? Oh, I know why. It's just because That's just what happens when you save on whatchamacallit, on material preview mode for some reason. At least on my computer. Okay, the head of this dude's looking pretty good so far. Let's symmetrize this. I'm gonna add in some real quick textures, I think, and then I'll probably call it a night. Okay, not bad. That needs to be fixed. That's just that duplicate edge, huh? Get rid of that real quick. Okay. So yeah, let's copy these textures, material 1. You know what, I just made a bunch of materials on my other guy. Let me use those, because they're basically all the same materials that are on here. So that'll save me a lot of time. Let me just open that up real quick. I need to open a separate copy. Let's see here. And I'll show you guys the textures that I made for him. I finished UVing him, by the way, if anyone was watching that stream yesterday. I know that was a super boring stream. I don't think I'm ever going to do UVs on stream again. I don't think anyone was into that. I can't blame you. It's not super interesting. Although, once you start getting the sense of it, it is kind of fun to figure out, but not fun to watch, that's for sure. Let's see. Enemy meshes, gun vault. Final rig. And it should be this one. Yeah, so here he is in his fully textured glory. He's just got, at least the Blender version. It'll probably change a bit in Unreal, but that's to be expected. But yeah, I gave him some edge wear on some of those parts where it's just shining through the paint, the metal underneath, some scratches and smudges and stuff like that, just to give him a little more, you know, character. It's on cycles, so it's a little bit janky. Takes a minute to load. Spark says textures and surfaces seem pretty good. Thanks, Spark. Yeah, still subject to change. I might adjust him a bit. He might be a little bit overly torn up, but I don't know. I think it kind of works at this point. I like it so far. I was planning on doing a similar thing with Megaman's textures, but I don't know. I'm sort of debating on that because I feel like he would be pretty well maintained since he's constantly going out and fighting and stuff. Although, maybe I could do something like that for when he takes damage, like he'll gradually get sort of beat up over time. That might be interesting. But yeah, I feel like for the start of a level, he should be pretty much, you know, clean and shiny and fresh looking. Anyway, what was I going to do? I was going to transfer these textures over. I'll just copy this guy. Don't save. Let me just paste him in this folder real quick, just to steal his textures. Is it that material? I should have named them. 21 for this one. And then for the blue one is 20. Oops, wrong one. Okay. And then there is no red part, so I'll do that after. And I think the material 42 for this one. And there's no gold on this guy. Oh, there is. It's in the ear part, ear looking part. I don't think it's actually an ear. And also the lining. Okay. Let me just do that real quick. Just to get the texture over here. And what number is that? 22. Okay. And now I can delete all that dude stuff. Oh, and yet somehow he still got copied in here. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. And then no, not that one. It was 20. There we go. And then this part. And I'll use that old eye texture since I haven't made anything new for that yet. Or I have, but it's in a different file. So I'm not going to use it right now. think I made one for my Megaman model because he has a lot of that. Darth Eileen, what's up, man? Darth Eileen says, have you ever used Mark Sharp Shift E on an edge in your workflow? Yeah, I do sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't do what I want it to, depending on where it is. But yeah, I use it occasionally. Like instead of making a bevel, when you're using smoothing, like you can mark certain things sharp, like for that, right? Yeah, sometimes. Doesn't always work in my experience, but I might be using it wrong. Not sure. Is it that one? Getting somewhere. Cool, cool. Oh yeah, and then let me put the gold on him. I think he already looks better than this guy. Yeah. Awesome. Well, off to a good start. Darth Eileen says, yeah, if the majority of your modeling is smooth, still on hard edges, it's nice. Yeah, it's definitely cool when it works. It saves you from the bevels. There's other ways too, though. I forget what they are. Like you can just bake the bevels in later and all that stuff. So yeah, there's different ways. Yeah, I should try to use it more though, because it'll save me on geometry, on edges and stuff. So because I know it works, and when it works, it's great. But yeah, I know it sometimes doesn't work too. So I tend to avoid it because I'm always like, well, it probably won't work, but it probably will in most cases. There we go, looking snazzy. Maybe make them less shiny. Alrighty, well, I've been on for close to 2 hours now. I got a good start with this guy. I'll probably continue him. I might finish him off stream. I've only got legs to do another time, or sometime tomorrow rather. And then after that, model some more stuff tomorrow, or maybe do some animating. See what happens. But yeah, for now I'm gonna call it a night. Thanks for everyone tuning in who tuned in. It's fun talking to y'all. I have to check out, what was that game again? The Metroidvania game? It was called Pseudo Regalia. Astral Zero recommended. I will check that out. And I might take a look at that RoboCop game too. That sounds cool. And thank you for the tip again, Darth Eileen. You're always saving me. You're always helping me. Such a good person. I appreciate it. Add some gold in here real quick because I think it'll tie it together a little bit, and then I'll call it a night. Yeah, now he's looking cool. Oh yeah. Let's see that cycles render. Oh yeah, check that out. Yeah, he's too shiny. I gotta bring it down a notch. Not bad though. Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that, Darth Alien. I am absolutely going to get Super Mario RPG. And as a matter of fact, I was thinking that maybe for one of my streams this week, I will do a drawing of Geno. Because Super Mario RPG comes out very soon. Isn't it this next week? Or is it this week? I know it comes out soon. I'm definitely going to pick that up. I was so hyped when I saw that they were remaking that game. Super happy. I love that game. It's such a weird game. Couple days? Yeah, a couple days. So I'll probably do it. I might even do that tomorrow for the stream. I'll draw Geno probably. I've never played the original, but I was about to, Darth Alien says. Yeah, I watched the original mostly. I played a little bit at my friend's house, but mostly I just watched him play it. So I haven't really played it much either, but I definitely want to pick it up. It was always super cool. He showed me a lot of the boss fights and stuff. There's that one secret boss who's like he's like a boss from an early Final Fantasy game. It's really cool. There's lots of little nods and things like that. I'm sure they'll probably keep a lot of that stuff in. Hopefully most of it, all of it. Yeah. But yeah, I always thought Geno was such a cool character, and they never used him in anything ever again. So one of the reasons why I was super hyped that they're doing a remake is because Geno, they'll probably be able to start using him in other Mario games now. I mean, they could have always done it, but now maybe they'll actually, go and do that, because he's, he'll be in the public zeitgeist sensibility, whatever you want to call it. So that could be cool if they start using him now. I'd be super hyped. Oh yeah, the only Square Nintendo game. I think there may have been some other Square Nintendo games. Technically, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories was a Square Nintendo game on the Game Boy Advance. I think there's been a couple collabs with them. Final Fantasy. Square used to be on Nintendo before it was PlayStation. So all those other games before that too. Those original Final Fantasy games were technically on Nintendo and Square, but yeah, in recent years, I don't know if there's been any. I don't even count Kingdom Hearts anymore. I thought the third one was so bad. I didn't even finish it. I couldn't do it. Alright, well, thanks for hanging out, guys. Sorry I just shit on Kingdom Hearts 3. I hope nobody's a fan of it. It let me down. I'm sorry. I waited like 12 years for that game and it sucked. Darth Alien says, well, I think the only one they worked on together, though. Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's probably true. And it's the only one where Square ever got to use Mario assets, that's for sure. So, very cool. Thanks, Darth Alien. Yeah, I'll see you guys later. I'll stream tomorrow. I'll probably be drawing Geno, since I mentioned that. Yeah, that'll be fun. And, oh, well, I might do it Thursday, too, because I think I'm going to start streaming on Thursdays now as well. So we'll see what happens. But, yeah, I'll definitely be doing it sometime this week. If I model tomorrow night, I'll draw Geno on Thursday. If I draw Geno tomorrow night, I'll model on Thursday. So, night, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Goodbye.